Hello and good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me along today. I wanted to start off by talking a little bit about Endava. We work across a number of different industries, and many of our insurance clients are here today. So some of you will have come across some of this content before, but it's still very good to go through it again. One of the advantages that we have of working across a number of different industries is that some industries are doing things particularly well, and we want to try and spread those trends across to insurance and financial services and other particular industries. Now, we produce a report twice a year called the Insurance Technology Trends, and this is available on our stand just round the corner by the lunch area, by the canteen part. Please come along. I'm going to talk about 5 particular trends today, but we've got another 15 in the report here today. So here is the full list of trends for insurance. We split them into 2 different sections. The ones in white are future trends, so those are emerging trends, and the ones in black are technology and trends that are able to be done today, right now. And they're being done very successfully in other particular industries at the moment. So what I want to do is use some of the current trends, some of the future ones, talk about those today that are applicable to general insurance. The first trend that I want to talk about is really kind of the nature of the future of insurance, because we're seeing a big trend in consumer behaviour and what consumers expect from insurance companies at the moment. And it's going through a new definition at the moment where it's really all about covering particular items. A really good example of this is that we went to a presentation from... Is anyone here from British Gas? No? Okay. So we went to a presentation from British Gas, and they specifically said that their new Hive product, which is sort of a bit like Internet of Things, where you can connect your thermostat with your burglar alarm system, etc. You can connect all those together, and what they'll do is that they'll be extending that into covering your home for burglary and other particular insurance types. Now that's particularly interesting because they specifically said in the presentation they don't want to use the term insurance. They want to be able to cover. They want to sell cover to consumers' homes. And that's quite interesting because that's going through using Internet of Things. That's re-educating the public on how insurance can work in the future. Here are 2 more examples. On the left, this is a platform called Quivicon, which is available from Deutsche Telekom in Germany. And what Quivicon is it's an extension of Hive, really. So it's a number of different technologies, such as your thermostat's heating. Anyone got a Sonos system? It connects your sound system together. Lots of other different devices, including white goods, etc. I'm not sure if it does connected toothbrushes yet, but the point here is that it connects all your different electrical items together. Now, one of the latest upgrades of Quivicon is that if you set your burglar alarm system and leave the house, the system downloads some different sounds to your Sonos system, things like someone walking around, a dog barking, someone walking around walking up the stairs, and so on. So it creates this kind of household white noise, and it starts playing that quite loudly. And the whole concept here is to reduce the chance of someone entering the home because they're going to hear all the background sounds. The burglar alarm also switches your lights on and off if you've got the light extension and so forth. So it's kind of emulating this building of someone at home at the time. On the right-hand side, closer to home, this is from HomeServe Labs, and it's a drip meter. And what this does is that the majority of household claims are for flood damage. What the HomeServe app does is that it can detect on all of your downpipes whether there are drips occurring, and then it will notify you and HomeServe via the app so that we can preempt the cause of flood damage. Both of these examples are already out, they're already in production, and this is all about preempting the need for a claim, and both types of systems here don't use the term insurance, and that's something to be very mindful of, that we're seeing outside of insurance companies coming into the insurance sector and will start eroding some of the revenue here. So here, what we're seeing is that this is educating the public into what IoT is, Internet of Things, and you're unlikely to see the term IoT being used, and you're unlikely to be seeing the word insurance being used. The second trend is around mobile. Now, this graph here is from Deloitte, and what it shows is that the kind of standard statistic of the amount of people who in the UK who own a mobile phone. It's a saturated market. We're now over 80% of the population owning a mobile phone. So we're already seeing that. The blue line here, by the way, is the growth in smartphone ownership. What also becomes interesting is how mobile has become completely embedded in our lives. So this graph here shows how quickly people check a mobile phone as soon as they wake up. It's fair to say that, that at the top here, when people say immediately, this is before someone speaks to somebody else in their household, they've already checked their phone. Now, I would imagine to the majority of people here, you probably join in this smartphone category of checking the phone straight away. Most people now keep a mobile phone by the side of the bed. So you roll over, pick up the phone, and this is immediately. We're talking quicker than 5 minutes. So this is how it's become completely immersed in our daily lives. What's interesting here is it's even more than our daily lives. So this graph here shows how many people use a mobile phone in the middle of the night when they wake up. So we're talking about they haven't actually kind of woken up from a full night's sleep. We're talking about they wake up, disturbed sleep, and the first thing they do is they check their mobile phone. Now, the point of me talking about this is that many insurance companies still don't have a mobile-first strategy. They still think mobile is a bolt-on to their existing their existing digital strategy, and we don't quite understand why. We're starting to see some second and third generation apps and mobile use cases, such as this one. So this is from outside insurance, obviously. This is one of our clients, the R&A, who run the Open Championship every year. It's a very big golf event. The key point here is that when a user downloads the mobile app, if they're at the event, then they will see relevant information to them. So on the left, you can see the event user interface, which is this is where the user is, this is where the nearest toilets are, this is where your nearest player is, this is where your favorite players are, etc., etc. We flood the user with useful information to them being actually at the event. On the right-hand side, this is the standard user interface to anyone who's not at the event. This is the golf leaderboard at the time. The key point here is that using mobile-specific features is absolutely vital. We have another case study, which we've done for a retail client, where we've changed the user interface based on when the customer, is in a retail store, in their retail store or not. And we've gone through a whole load of customer research into when you walk into a store, what are the key things that you're thinking of doing on your mobile device. And we've cut out all the fluff stuff. There's no point in finding out the nearest store or some of the other promotions. We want to provide the user with what is relevant to them actually in the store. And we've had a massive conversion rate change from that. The third area, and this is very topical, and we considered changing the slides after the news about Admiral last week, but it's absolutely vital to use social media data. Now, this can take different flavors. Up here, this is a screenshot of the Facebook page showing what data they have on every Facebook user. Now, they currently keep around 53 bits of information that is absolutely core to the user. We're talking about things like date of birth or sometimes just the birth year, their work history, education, and so forth. But then there is another 54 piece of information called edges, which is even further removed from the core information. This is things like what likes the user has done, what loves they've done, other brand affiliations that they've done, what videos they've ever watched through to completion, and so forth. This is an absolute goldmine of data. Now, Admiral clearly took that a little bit further last week. There will be other brands that will do so as well. What we encourage is twofold. One is to do some more research about your customers on Facebook. What we do when we have our kick-off workshops is when our customer says, but most of our customers are in this particular city and they're aged this particular age group, I'm sure there aren't that many Facebook users. Go straight into Facebook, create a sample ad, and you can enter, this is the city that we're looking at, this is the age group, these are other demographics, and you'll get an answer straight away about how many users are on Facebook and regularly use Facebook. There's two different graphs, and regularly use Facebook within that demographic range. The second area is around building apps and other extensions inside Facebook in order to interact with your customers. And I completely agree with Francois about putting the customer first, and Facebook is a great way to do that. As one of our banking clients said, if there was any city in the UK that had 1 billion customers, damn right we'd open a store there. So why on earth don't we have a bank branch on Facebook? The fourth trend that we're going to talk about is around digital marketing. Now, there's two particular elements here. The first one is around the amount that many of you will spend already on Google AdWords. Anecdotally, most of our customers spend up to 7% of their revenue on internet advertising, most of which goes to Google AdWords. These adverts on the right-hand side that many of us overlook, that clearly say ad on the left-hand side, these cost a huge amount, between £5 and £50, in order to put those adverts up there and to try and bid to become the highest up here. So it's completely non-negotiable at the moment. It's like an internet tax in order to drive more footfall through your websites. So we have customers who set us challenges around, let's try and increase our conversion rate by 0.1%. That will make a huge difference to our bottom line. How insurance companies are set up is many of you will have a marketing department that is responsible for placing the ads. You'll have a separate department who look after the website or the mobile site, maybe two separate departments looking after each of those. And many times there's kind of this disjointedness between the two. Working together and seeing how you can increase those goals is absolutely vital. The second point on this is around how to make the most of your landing pages. So the next click after this, looking into technologies that are readily available, very, very efficient nowadays, things like multivariate testing. Test two different types of landing pages. Don't be afraid to try one that you're not sure if it's going to be successful or not, because you'll often see massive surprises. The second point is around digital marketing. Now, I did a little bit of research while I was putting together this presentation about how many emails I've received from the different insurance products that I have. So looking right across my different personal insurances, from the home and so forth. For my motorcycle insurance, I've had 2 policies with the same insurer in the last 5 years, and I had a total of 3 emails across that time. In fact, on the most recent policy that I have, somehow they got my email address wrong and they didn't actually send me the policy document, and they haven't sent me any follow-up emails, but then suddenly I started receiving some from them. So clearly they've done some cleanup of data or fixed their email server. I compared this to other retailers and other non-insurance industries, and it's amazing the difference. Companies like Gap send me emails every single week, a summary at the end of every single month, and you know exactly where I'm coming from because many of you will have signed up to other retailers. So why am I only receiving 3 emails over 2 years from my motorcycle insurance? And pretty much across all my other different personal policies, it was exactly the same. I got occasional emails. Now, we did have a discussion on the table here about, but do I want to receive email from insurance companies? Well, absolutely. If it's relevant to me as a policyholder, then absolutely send it to me. There are companies like Money Saving Expert that openly suggest to customers to save money midway through the policy, cancel the current insurance and go for another insurance because that is a way to save money. So if they're giving out that kind of advice, why are you not communicating with your customers more? What are you afraid of here? The 5th and final trend here is around self-service. One of the points that Francois talked about was how to make the whole process more efficient. On the left-hand side, these are the most used mobile apps in the USA for last year. For this year, for this summer. You've probably heard of almost all of those. How many times have you used Facebook, YouTube, Google, Facebook Messenger, Google Maps, etc., and needed to call their call center? So why do I need to phone my insurance company if I forget my login details, if I need to change my payment details, which is always the killer, if I need to cancel a product, etc., on the right-hand side? How many times have you ever needed to phone Amazon? Out of all the purchases that you've done, how many times have you ever needed to phone Amazon to conduct this kind of service? This costs you a lot of money and ultimately costs the customer. So when we put the customer at the center of all the services that we produce together with our insurance customers, are we really doing them a good service, or should we produce these self-service systems? Mobile apps have been out the iPad has been out for 9 years. So having an excuse of, well, actually our systems are disjointed, actually it's really difficult to do some of these, actually we've got duplicate data across different systems, that's just not good enough anymore. It's really important to improve the self-service across this. So I've covered 5 trends here today. Internet of Things is redefining the insurance industry quicker than you probably appreciate. If you look at the journals from other industries, you'll notice this is happening very quickly. Use mobile first. And when you look at your mobile phone, think about, what does this give me? What does this device give me that I can use to put my customer at the center of our service? Is it the location? Is it the speed? Is this person on a train, etc.? Is this person connected to Wi-Fi or a fast data network, etc., to improve the customer experience? The third area, use social media. It doesn't just need to be to build a complex Facebook app. It can be how many users are on LinkedIn compared to Facebook for the demographic that you're targeting. One of the things that we still don't understand is when you're doing B2B or high-value products or services, why you don't look on LinkedIn, where you can target very, very precisely the kind of people that you're targeting for elsewhere. The fourth area is around digital marketing. What are you afraid of? Why don't you have lunch with someone in your marketing team, find out what their aims are, put those together with yours, and see how you can update your landing pages, see how you can update some of your products and services. And the fifth area is around self-service. As a customer of many of the services that we looked at in the US, you are self-service. Think about the Uber moment. How many times have you ever needed to call the Uber help desk? Have you ever tried finding the Uber phone number? Have you ever tried finding the Amazon call center phone number? Now, I'm not suggesting you update your insurance websites and mobile sites to try and hide your contact center phone number like they do, but make your services much more self-service. We've gone through 5 of the trends. There's another 15 in here. Please come over to our stand, pick up one of these, and we're happy to discuss it. Thank you very much.